Okay, so this one that someone sent in is pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's a sound recording called Thousand Rocket Crow Final Dot Wave. And it seems to be like a first-person account from a crow.
Wow.
But not just any crow.
Okay.
This crow went to space.
You're kidding. A crow in space? That's not exactly our usual source material.
Right. It's definitely a bit out there.
It is quite a fantastical story, for sure.
Yeah.
So what should our mission be for this deep dive? What do we want to pull out of this?
I think we need to hear about this cosmic journey from the crow's perspective.
Okay, yeah, I'm in. Let's hear what this crow has to say.
All right, so the recording starts out pretty normal.
Crikey.
It's lunchtime for this crow. It's pecking at a worm.
Typical crow stuff.
Yeah, and there's some shiny tin nearby.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, things go crazy.
What happened?
The ground starts rumbling, and the crow is just lifted up.
Wow.
Yeah, and the best part is the crow is still holding on to that worm.
No way. That's dedication.
I know, right? And then the crow's like, I didn't ask for this. I just want me now.
That's hilarious. So this crow is definitely not on board with this whole situation.
Yeah, definitely not happy about being launched into the sky.
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine that sudden acceleration, just completely out of your control.
I can't even imagine.
So then the crow goes on to describe this pretty wild trip. It calls it going off to the stars on a bloody great whale. Yeah. Which we can assume is the rocket, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
But it's this amazing image going from a rooftop in London, which is where the crow starts, all the way to the galaxy's edge.
And the sky turning black. I mean, that's got to be a shock for a bird.
Right. One minute you're looking at familiar London streets. The next you're staring into the endless black of space.
Yeah, and then it gets even crazier. This crow somehow gets inside the spaceship.
Wait, really? Ow.
It says, through a metal door, I kick myself through. Who's a boss now? Like the confidence.
Oh, talk about bold. Most birds would probably just freak out, right?
Absolutely. Most birds would be terrified. But not this crow.
So what happens when it meets the astronauts?
Okay, so picture this. The astronauts are just doing their thing in space when suddenly a crow burst in.
I bet they were surprised.
Oh, yeah, the crow says their jaws hit the floor.
I can only imagine. That's a priceless image.
Yeah, and instead of hiding, the crow immediately starts causing chaos.
What do you mean chaos? What does it do?
It starts nicking their snacks and demanding more.
No way. This crow is really taking charge.
It even specifically mentions wanting space spaghetti.
Space spaghetti? That's amazing.
Yeah, this crow is not your average stowaway.
It sounds like it has a real attitude, not timid at all.
Right. The recording calls it a punk rock bird with a worm and a grudge.
That's a great description. A feathery crook, it even says. Tough as nails.
Yeah, it definitely paints a picture of a bird with a lot of personality.
So what do you make of this defiance? I mean, here's this crow in a completely alien environment, and it's acting like it owns the place.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. I think it suggests a real resilience, you know, like a refusal to be intimidated by the unknown.
Yeah, that makes sense. This crow isn't going to let a little thing like space travel break its spirit.
Absolutely. In fact, it even says it's going to write a book about the experience.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't need no space. This crow's just full of attitude.
I love it. It's almost comical, you know? This tiny crow acting like it's completely unimpressed by space.
Right. Like space travel is no big deal. But then there's this shift in the recording.
Oh, what happens?
Well, the crow starts to enjoy itself.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, bunk as hell, mate. I'm having a ball now.
That's quite a turnaround from I didn't ask for this to having a ball.
I know. It's like this unexpected joy in the chaos of it all.
That's pretty profound, actually, when you think about it. It shows that even in the most unexpected and maybe even unwanted situations, there's still the possibility of finding some enjoyment.
Yeah. Like what started as basically a kidnapping turned into an adventure.
Exactly. And then, of course, the crow has to go back home eventually.
Yeah.
And it heads back to London with its worm beat.
Still holding on.
And claiming to be the only crow in London with an astronaut streak.
That's a pretty good story to tell.
It is a declaration of a totally unique experience.
So to sum up our deep dive into Thousand Rocket Crow Final Dot Wave,
yes,
we have the incredible journey of a London crow who unexpectedly goes to space.
Right.
And the whole thing is marked by this crow's surprise, its defiance, and then finally, the surprising enjoyment of the whole crazy situation.
You got it. And for our listeners out there, this outlandish story, as wild as it is, it really makes you think, doesn't it, about those unexpected adventures that might just pop up in your own life.
Yeah.
And maybe even more importantly, it makes you consider how you might react when faced with the unexpected.
That's a good point.
Could there be a bit of that defiant crow spirit within all of us, ready to not just endure the unexpected, but maybe even, demand a little space spaghetti out of it?
I love that. All right, well, that's our show for today.
Until next time.
Bye, everyone.